Stand and remain standing until the conclusion of the reading of the proclamation. Ladies and gentlemen, the proclamation. All persons having any business before this honorable court now draw nigh. Give your attendance, and you shall be heard.
Admission of lawyers. Madison Sky Blockley Island.
May it please the court, I move that Madison Sky Blockley Island be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Madison Sky Blockley Island be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Stuart James Campbell.
May it please the court, I move that Stuart James Campbell be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Stuart James Campbell be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Isabel May Casimir.
May it please the court, I move that my daughter Isabel May Casimir be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Isabel May Casimir be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Georgia Noel Shahood.
May it please the court, I move that Georgia Noel Shahood be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Georgia Noel Shahood be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Maria Winona Louise Chen.
May it please the court, I move that Maria Winona Louise Chen be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Maria Winona Louise Chen be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Luca Aldo Cusmano.
May it please the court, I move that Luca Aldo Cusmano be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Luca Aldo Cusmano be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Michael Danella.
May it please the court, I move that Michael Danella be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Michael Danella be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Christina May Demetrio.
May it please the court, I move that Christina May Demetrio be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Christina May Demetrio be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Laurel Constance Donnelly.
May it please the court, I move that Laurel Constant Donnelly be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Laurel Constance Donnelly be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Carla Gillian Dunbar.
May it please the court, I move that Carla Dunbar be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Carla Gillian Dunbar be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Nicole Elu Thorne.
May it please the court, I move that Nicole Allul Thorne be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Nicole L. Thorne be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Dale John Finch.
May it please the court, I move that Dale John Finch be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable
Let
court.
Dale John Finch be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Zachary Charles Gordon.
May it please the court, I move that Zachary Charles Gordon be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Zachary Charles Gordon be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Perry Gowes.
May it please the court, I move that Perry Gowes be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Perry Gowes be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Cassie Alex Grant.
May it please the court, I move that Cassie Alex Grant be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Cassie Alex Grant be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Annabelle Rose Gray.
May it please the court, I move that Annabelle Rose Gray be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Annabelle Rose Gray be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Beatrice Yan Lam Ho.
May it please the court, I move that Beatrice Yanlam Ho be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Beatrice Yan Lam Ho be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Mary Isabel Howie.
May it please the court, I move that Mary Isabel Howie be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Mary Isabel Howie be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Stephanie Lara Cartoon.
May it please the court, I move that Stephanie Lara Caltoon be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Stephanie Lara Caltoon be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Marie Elise Camberoglu.
May it please the court, I move that Marie Elise Camberoglu be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Marie Elise Camberoglu be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Luma Khatib.
May it please the court, I move that Luma Khatib be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Luma Khatib be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Samantha Annabelle Carvin.
May it please the court, I move that Samantha Annabelle Carvin be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Samantha Annabelle Carvin be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Jonathan James Klug.
May it please the court, I move that Jonathan James Cook be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Jonathan James Klug be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Meti Manish Kathari.
May it please the court, I move that Bibnesh Kathari be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Meti Manish Katari be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Ilanko Kumarasiri.
May it please the court, I move that my brother-in-law, Elanka Kumarasiri, be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Elanko Kumarasiri be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Chun Chung Wok Kwok.
May I please the court, I move that my brother Chun Chung Kwok be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Chun Chung Kwok be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Babita Swetha Lau.
May it please the court, I move that Babita Swetha Lau be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Babita Swetha Lau be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Catherine Lambros.
May it please the court, I move that my sister Catherine Lambros be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Catherine Lambros be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Ventura Kaywin Lan.
May it please the court, I move that Ventura Kaywin Lan be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Ventura Kaywin Lan be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Suet Yi Lee.
May it please the court, I move that Su Yi Lee be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable.
Let Suet Yi Lee be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Eternity Yi Mei Lim.
May it please the court, I move that Eternity Yi Mei Lim be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Eternity Yi Mei Lim be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Gigi Ching Yin Lu.
May it please the court, I move that Gigi Chin Yin Lu be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Gigi Ching Yin Lu be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Anran Mao.
May it please the court, I move that Anran Mao be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Anran Mao be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Prathana Divyesh Mehta.
May it please the court, I move that Prathana Divyesh Mehta be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Prathana Divyesh Mehta be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Amy Leah Murphy.
May it please the court, I move that my daughter, Amy Lee Murphy, be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Amy Lee Murphy be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Lucy Adelaide Naidera.
May it please the court, I move that my daughter, Lucy Adelaide Niedera, be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Lucy Adelaide Naderer be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
May Junru O'Regan.
May it please the court, I move that May Junru O'Regan be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let May Junru O'Regan be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Alicia Rochelle Stowe.
May it please the court, I move that Alicia Rochelle Stowe be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Alicia Rochelle Stowe be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Jamie Sung.
May it please the court, I move that Jamie Sung be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Jamie Sung be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Sakara Toliafoa.
May it please the court, I move that Sakara Tuleafora be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Sakara Tuleafora be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Jack William Townend.
May it please the court, I move that Jack William Townend be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Jack William Townend be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Luke Tristan Anais Twemlow.
May it please the court, I move that my brother, Luke Tristan Anais Twemlow, be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Luke Tristan Anais Tremlow be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Wandana Vadi.
May it please the court, I move that Wandana Vadi be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Wandana Vadi be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Jake Thomas Veal.
May it please the court, I move that Jake Thomas Veal be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Jake Thomas Veal be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Michaela Wan.
May it please the court, I move that Michaela Wan be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Michaela Wan be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Rupert Charles Patrick Wills.
May it please the court, I move that Rupert Charles Patrick Wills be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Rupert Charles Patrick Wills be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Petra Rebecca Wilson Jones.
May it please the court, I move that Petra Rebecca Wilson Jones be admitted as a lawyer to this honourable court.
Let Petra Rebecca Wilson Jones be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
May Mai Wong.
May it please the court, I move that my wife, May Ki Wong, be admitted by this honourable court.
Let May Ki Wong be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Nathan Kevin Zhang.
May it please the court, I move that Nathan Kevin Zhang be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Nathan Kevin Zhang be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Belinda Marie Zillich.
May it please the court, I move that Belinda Marie Zillich be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Belinda Marie Zillich be admitted as a lawyer of this court. I also admit as lawyers of this court the following persons who have completed the special process for admissions in absentia. Xian Liu, and I should say, and who I hope are attending online. Xiang Liu, Rui Shi, Yun Teng, Jian Wang, and Ruxiao Wang. It will now be necessary for those whose admissions have just been moved in the courtroom to stand as directed by the officiating officer and remain standing as directed for the purposes of swearing an oath or making a declaration and affirmation. So please stand as directed.
Good. Rows 1 and 2 on my right, please stand. Madison Sky Blockley Island. Stuart James Campbell. Isabel May Casimir. Georgia Noel Shahood. Maria Winona Louise Chen. Luca Aldo Cosmano. Michael Danella. Christina May Demetrio. Laurel Constance Donnelly. Carla Gillian Dunbar. Nicole Ella Thorne. Dale John Finch. Zachary Charles Gordon. Perry Gowes. Cassie Alex Grant. Annabelle Rose Gray. Do you severally swear or declare and affirm that you will truly and honestly conduct yourselves in the practice of a lawyer of the Supreme Court of New South Wales, and that you will faithfully serve as such in the administration of the laws and usages of this state according to the best of your knowledge, skill and ability? Would you please say, so help me God, or I do?
I do.
Thank you. Please sit down. And could rows 3 and 4 on my right please stand? Beatrice Yan Lam Ho. Mary Isabel Howie. Stephanie Lara Kaltoon. Marie Elise Camberoglu. Luma Khatib. Samantha Annabelle Carvin. Jonathan James Klug. Meeti Manish Katari. Elanko Kubrasiri. Chun Chung Kwok. Babita Switha Lau. Catherine Lambros. Ventura Kaiwin Lan. Swet Yi Lee. Eternity Yi Mei Lim. Gigi Ching Yin Lu. Anran Mao. Prathana Divyesh Mehta. Amy Lee Murphy. Lucy Adelaide Niedera. May Junru O'Regan. Do you severally swear or declare and affirm that you will truly and honestly conduct yourselves in the practice of a lawyer of the Supreme Court of New South Wales, and that you will faithfully serve as such in the administration of the laws and usages of this state according to the best of your knowledge, skill and ability? Would you please say, so help me God, or I do? Thank you. Please sit down. And could the 2 rows on my left please stand up? Alicia Rochelle Stowe. Jamie Sung. Shakira Toliafoa. Jack William Townend. Luke Tristan Anais Twemlow. Wandana Baddy. Jake Thomas Veal. Michaela Wan. Rupert Charles Patrick Wills, Petra Rebecca Wilson Jones, May Key Wong, Nathan Kevin Zhang, and Belinda Marie Zillick. Do you severally swear or declare and affirm that you will truly and honestly conduct yourselves in the practice of a lawyer of the Supreme Court of New South Wales, and that you will faithfully serve as such in the administration of the laws and usages of this state according to the best of your knowledge, skill, and ability? Would you please say, "So help me God," or "I do"? Thank you. Please sit down.
Well, may I warmly welcome you all to the Banco Court of the Supreme Court of New South Wales. Present with me on the bench this morning, to my right, is Justice Carolyn Simpson, a Judge of Appeal, formerly a Judge of the Common Law Division and the widely acknowledged wisest judge in Australia. And to my left, Justice Michael Walton, a Senior Member of the Common Law Division of the Court and formerly the President of the Industrial Relations Commission of New South Wales as well. Together, we constitute the court that has, in the exercise of its jurisdiction, admitted you, the newly admitted lawyers, to practice this morning. We've done so sitting, as I say, here in the Banco Court, but on land for which the Gadigal of the Eora Nation have cared and been custodians for thousands of years, and the court pays its sincere respects to elders past and present and extends those respects to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. Well, to all the newly admitted lawyers in court this morning, welcome to the legal profession. Today is one great achievement and for celebration. And I'm also pleased to welcome those with you today, supporting you or watching on the live stream. For many of you, the support of your family and friends over the journey that has brought you here this morning will have been invaluable. No doubt they've also been on the receiving end of your finely polished or developing skills of argument and persuasion. And I encourage you to take the time to thank them for their tolerance and support today. Depending on how good an advocate you are, you might even convince them to shout you to lunch or dinner later on this morning or this evening. We do know, sitting here on the bench, how hard you have all worked to get here. It's a memory that never really leaves you. And for most of you, your journey has involved these past 2.5 extraordinarily challenging final years affected by the challenges of the pandemic. You've managed your legal studies with this additional adversity, unprecedented in our lifetimes, and that makes your achievements this morning all the more impressive. And I suspect that the resilience you've all no doubt developed will stand you well into the future. In being admitted as a lawyer of this court, you join an honourable and ancient profession with the custom of advocates swearing an oath on admission to practice dating back to the 12th century. And this court first admitted lawyers in 1824, and by 1830, the names of lawyers were entered onto the rolls in this state, just as you will do immediately after this ceremony. It is in acknowledgement of the weighty responsibility that we observe today's unique formalities, including the fact that your admission has been moved by someone who is already a member of the legal profession, and that you have just made a formal oath or affirmation in the presence of your family and peers. They are all therefore witnesses to the promises and undertakings you have made today. Now, the law touches every part of our society, and it can and will lead you all in many different directions and career paths. But in whatever direction you head, you must always remember that the oath or affirmation that you've just made is a serious one and deserves solemn regard. Whether you work in private practice, at the bar, in a community legal centre, a Crown Law Office, a government department or agency, or indeed in an entirely different field, you must be known for your honesty, your integrity, and your commitment to justice. You must strive at all times to uphold these cardinal values. This is because admission as a member of the legal profession is a privilege and not a right. I referred earlier to tradition and formality, and you will see from some of the portraits on the walls of this court that we are wearing the same robes, in some cases literally, as have been worn by our predecessors. Symbolically, that highlights the continuity of the rule of law in New South Wales, although the judges wearing the robes are now drawn from an increasingly diverse pool. As to continuity of the rule of law to which I referred, in a world in which there is much global uncertainty and insecurity, the rule of law is more important than ever, and not simply a phrase of some academic or theoretical import. The rule of law is the opposite of the arbitrary abuse of power and the rule of autocratic dictators and populists. And we know, looking around, that there is nothing theoretical about those phenomena. Now, notwithstanding the formality and tradition attending this ceremony, not everything in the legal profession remains unchanging. COVID-19 meant a rapid shift to increased use of virtual courtroom technology to ensure access to justice continued in the midst of the pandemic. And we are proud of what was able to be achieved in the courts during that time. We also salute those other professions, especially health and education, who did so much for our community throughout the pandemic. But returning to the legal profession, the technological impetus brought about by the pandemic has also delivered greater workplace flexibility, which is especially important for lawyers with family responsibilities and in regional and remote communities. And it has profound implications for how our legal system interacts with and may reach and become more accessible to many more people. Although the increased use of technology offers a number of advantages, it must be remembered that in the practice of the law, human nature and human interaction are at its core. An essential part of being a good lawyer is understanding people and human nature, how others react to different situations, how they perform under pressure and deal with each other. And as I said in my swearing-in speech as Chief Justice earlier in the year, whilst the remote practice of the law may be possible, it is far from desirable. There are, of course, other changes that deserve attention in addition to those brought about by the pandemic. When we think of the diversity of the legal profession, we encounter a duality that we've come very far, but still much needs to be done. For example, although women were originally not even permitted to practice originally, since 2018, women have made up more than half of all solicitors with a practicing certificate in New South Wales and currently make up 2/3 of solicitors under the age of 30. Some of the most senior positions in the law in Australia are now held by distinguished female lawyers, including the current Chief Justices of the High Court of Queensland, Victoria and the ACT, as well as the President of our own Court of Appeal, Justice Julie Ward. The State Director of Public Prosecutions and the Senior Public Defender in New South Wales are also distinguished female practitioners. But there should also be strong representation of lawyers from the many different backgrounds which comprise our cosmopolitan community. Diverse representation amongst solicitors, advocates and judges assists in ensuring that all people who become involved in our justice system can, and feel that they can, be properly heard and fairly engaged with by a system reflective of our broader community. The admissions ceremonies on which I have sat since becoming a judge almost 4 years ago, including this ceremony today, highlights that there is a far greater diversity of background amongst junior lawyers than when I commenced practice many years ago. That is a very good thing, and the leaders of the profession and of the courts are working hard to foster inclusiveness and diversity. That in turn, as I've said, builds trust in and respect for both the judiciary and the legal profession in the broader community. You, the newly admitted lawyers, enter the profession at a time when, more than ever, your words and actions are having an impact for good. And shortly I'll invite two young lawyers sitting at the bar table who were in your shoes not so very long ago to say a few words of welcome. The legal profession is one rich with opportunities, but let me first, before calling on them, offer a little bit of further advice. As a lawyer, you will often need to make difficult ethical decisions. You must use the tools you've developed to think critically, not compromise on your fundamental duties to the court and the administration of justice. One mistake I would urge you not to fall into the trap of making is to give your clients the advice you think they want to hear. That will not be good advice. You should give strong, independent advice. Justice Gageler, before he went to the High Court, once said, and I quote, "You must be prepared to give the same answer to the same questions for the same reasons, no matter who asks a question or for what purpose or in what context the asking may occur." That is very good advice, as we have come to expect from Justice Gageler. Being a lawyer means that you're an advisor, a problem solver, a mediator, and an advocate. As you go about your day-to-day work, remember that you're not merely dealing with the law in a vacuum, but law as it applies to people's lives. An individual in need of your services as a lawyer is in most cases an individual facing some kind of great personal challenge or crisis, affecting his or her liberty, property, personal well-being, or health or financial position. For these reasons, you must always strive to deliver legal services sensitively, competently and fearlessly, yes, but always with courtesy and integrity. And that takes me on to what is sometimes described as the old-fashioned concept of civility. It may be old-fashioned, but it's very important. Aspects of the law, especially if you are involved in the litigation side of practice, are confrontational. That is of their very nature. The practice of the law can be stressful and demanding enough, though, without personal animus and antagonism between practitioners adding to the load. So it's essential that in your practice you maintain your detachment, balance, and good humour, remembering at all times that you're members of a profession and not a business. And remember this, that the best advocates can and do make their points simply and succinctly. Often, less is more. Some of the more experienced lawyers and judges, including myself, could also use that reminder from time to time. For a non-lawyer, law is often incomprehensible, or the very least, very difficult to understand. One of your roles as a lawyer will be to make the law accessible to others, sometimes by deciphering legal complexities, other times by deciphering poor legal drafting, sometimes both, or simply sometimes explaining how the particular facts which confront you, what legal framework they operate in. So strive to be clear and concise at all times in both your writing and your speaking. At various points of your career, I dare say, you will make mistakes, some minor and maybe some more serious. We all make mistakes from time to time, especially when we are starting something new. What is important is you try not to make the same mistake twice, and if you do make a mistake, that your commitment to honesty, integrity, and the administration of justice dictates that you must take responsibility for it, correct what you can, and learn from it. In the practice of the law, your physical and mental health are also both extremely important. There may, and I dare say will be, times when you feel overwhelmed, burnt out, or distressed. Legal practice can be all-consuming and physically and mentally taxing. Now, I must say that is often because it's in the nature of lawyers to want to go the extra mile for their client, to want to spend those extra couple of hours at night making sure everything is in order, or everything has been tracked down, or the papers are properly prepared. And that is a good thing. That is an honourable thing. It's part of being a committed professional. But it can be, as I say, all-consuming and physically and mentally taxing. So you must work hard to keep your balance and keep your eye out to ensure that your colleagues do so as well. If you do get overwhelmed by it all, as frankly we all have from time to time, and I dare say still do, try to take a step back and recapture some perspective, or suggest gently to your colleagues who you think are out of balance that they might think about that as well. But in that context, you should also remember that the law is a highly collegiate profession. And it's in that context that I'm going to now call on two young representatives of the New South Wales Bar Association and the Law Society of New South Wales to offer a few words of welcome. Ms. Trahanis, do you move?
May it please the court. My name is Christina Trahanis, and I have been practicing for 4 years at the bar, predominantly in public law and commercial law. On behalf of the New South Wales Bar Association, I welcome you to the legal profession. The legal profession is an old profession based on precedent and the rule of law, while also being a profession that grows and develops to adapt to new practices and technology, and most importantly, to society's values as they change over time. For several decades now, the composition of lawyers and barristers in New South Wales has changed to better reflect the community. The bar today is a welcoming place for all people, for all genders and backgrounds, and you are welcome, either straight away or after some time as a solicitor, to apply to come to the bar. It is an honour to be a lawyer, and in my case, a barrister, and I am very proud to be a member of the legal profession. I enjoy the intellectual challenge of my job, and it allows me to give expert advice to and represent people in court and to contribute to society in a meaningful way. If you are interested in coming to the bar, you can contact the New South Wales Bar Association or have a look on its website. And each year there's also a career at the bar open day. To become a barrister, you must pass the bar exams and satisfactorily complete the bar practice course and reading requirements in your first year at the bar. In terms of the support available in your first year of practice as a reader, you have 2 tutors who are barristers of at least 7 years seniority, and they meet with you weekly, review your work, and teach you practical skills, whether by appearing with them in court or otherwise. The bar is also renowned for its collegiality, especially in chambers, and so you're not isolated or alone. The New South Wales Bar Association is the professional body that supports barristers, and it has several committees, including, for example, the New Barristers Committee, which organises social and educational events for 0 to 5 year barristers, like me, the Wellbeing Committee, which runs seminars on health and wellbeing, promoting balance between work and the other parts of your life, and a Diversity and Equality Committee that promotes one of the key strategic goals of the New South Wales Bar Association, to attract the best people to become barristers, regardless of their race, religion, gender, parental status, or sexual preference. Whether as a lawyer or barrister, I encourage you to get involved in the Law Society or Bar Association and to use your skills to assist your community. It is a rewarding experience to practice in connection with others in your profession. Once again, on behalf of the New South Wales Bar Association, I welcome you to the legal profession, and I congratulate you on your admission today as a lawyer of this honourable court. May it please the court.
Thank you, Mr. Trahanis. Ms. Rafter, do you move?
May it please the court. My name is Alana Rafter, and not so long ago, I was standing where you are today. And what a day it is. You are being admitted to the Supreme Court role, the final step in a long and arduous journey. It is no small feat. You should all feel immensely proud of what you have achieved thus far. When I embarked upon my journey as a lawyer some 5 years ago, I wasn't sure about what to expect. It was at times overwhelming, and it certainly wasn't always easy. But as I stand here today, after 4 years as an associate at this court, and now as an associate at Australian Business Lawyers and Advisors, I can tell you that I've learned a lesson or two. One of the most critical things that I have learned, even when taking a not so linear path in law, is the importance of belonging to a profession. The legal profession is an increasingly large and diverse community, and one to which you now all belong. The Law Society of New South Wales is a home for that community. With its 30,000 members spread far and wide throughout the state, together we are bound by our shared duties, our commitment to continuous learning, our desire to connect, and our drive to give back to our communities and uphold the rule of law. As early career lawyers, having a strong network of your peers is crucial. That is why I have been a part of the Law Society's New South Wales Young Lawyers branch for the past 3 years. There, I have found inspiration, guidance, and support when I needed it most. I also had opportunities for advocacy and to participate in various committees. By joining the Law Society, and with that New South Wales Young Lawyers, you will gain access to mentoring and professional support, which is so important in those early years. You will also have opportunities for volunteering, professional development, gain access to events, conferences, and the list goes on. It is the role of the Law Society to ensure that you, as newly minted solicitors, can thrive and succeed in your new profession. So once again, congratulations to you all. Look us up or speak with your employer. We look forward to welcoming you into the Law Society community. May it please the court.
Thank you, Ms. Rafter. Well, can I say this to you all in closing? The law is a wonderful profession. It's stimulating, it's challenging and satisfying, and it's populated by intelligent, committed and dynamic people such as yourselves. You should be proud to be a lawyer and of your achievements to date, and you should remain proud to be a lawyer. It is a very important profession holding our society and community together through the rule of law. You are now a very important part of that profession. So hold your heads high and the very best of luck on the exciting journey that lies ahead. On behalf of Justices Simpson, Walton and all of our colleagues on the Supreme Court of New South Wales, I once again congratulate you on your admission this morning and welcome you to the legal profession. The court will now adjourn.
All stand. This honourable court is now adjourned.
Congratulations, everyone, once again. I think as indicated before, if you're in the top